just going to wait one more minute before everybody gets in here, and then we will roll on with this for the next few minutes. I appreciate everybody coming this morning, and hopefully everybody is doing well, staying healthy, and ready to learn about some awesome Google tools. All right, so what's up, Doc? Sheets, I'm hunting Google. So we're going to talk about Google Docs and Google Sheets. Today, I am Bugs Durham from the Warner Brothers College, and our chat facilitator is Elma Milroy, and she's from Wabbit University. And we have some other Looney Tunes helpers in our chat today, so please feel free to type all your questions to them, and they will be glad to answer you. So this webinar is being recorded, and you can find it in about 48 hours on edtech.bccs.edu. And then the slides will also be posted there. So now let's get into the fun stuff. So the agenda. We're going to talk about uploading or creating a Google Doc or sheet, downloading and sharing that Google Doc or sheet, talk about commenting or replying and making edits. We're going to discuss templates. We're going to discuss using docs and sheets inside of Canvas. And we're also going to talk about embedding inside of Canvas. So our first thing we're going to talk about is, well, how do you even find Google Docs and Google Sheets? So you're going to go to your college portal, and you're going to click on your specific, however you enter your version of MyGCC, put in your username, wait patiently, and to find all the Google tools, you're actually going to start by clicking on Gmail. Your Gmail may look very different than mine. You may not have come here before, you may have nothing in it, and you know, if that's fine. But the tools that we're going to talk about today are only found this way. So now, once you get to Gmail, you're going to go over to the corner and you're going to see a waffle or the checkerboard or, you know, squares. So when you click on that, you're going to see all the tools that you have available. From here, you may choose to click on slides or drive or docs or sheets. So for this purpose, we're going to click on docs. Now this would be a way to create either a brand new doc, or you can see underneath that I have recent documents that are located here, as well as owned by anyone is a filtering option, and I can choose owned by me, not owned by me, so something that was shared with me. So you have some options when you come here. And notice again, I could go back to the waffle, and now this time I can choose Google Drive. So now let's talk about what can we do and what can we use or upload into our Google Drive. So if I wanted to upload a Word doc to Google, I could. These are the file formats that you can upload as either a Google Doc, a Google Sheet, or Google Slides. So to upload a new document, you're going to click on the plus at the top of the drive. You're going to select File Upload, and then you're going to select the document you want and click Open. So now let's do that. So here I am in my Google Drive, and now I'm going to click on New, and I'm going to click on File Upload, and now you should see my Windows Explorer window open, and I'm going to pick, obviously I'm in a place I don't want to be, pick any document, Here we go, click open. Now you can see that the document is opening down here at the bottom, and the green check means it was successful. Once I go, and I can either click on that document or I can click on my drive. You can arrange your Google Drive any way you want. You can do it by folders, or you can have single documents. But I did not put this in a folder. So if I wanted to find it in my Google Drive, I'm going to have to remember what the title of it was. However, while the little box is still down here on the bottom, I can choose just to click directly on that and open it. So if you notice here, this is now, I can view it. However, I really can't do anything to it. But if I choose open with, now I can actually open this with Google Docs. Now this would allow me to make edits to that document. Keep in mind that when those edits are made, they are going to only occur in the document I have in my Google Drive. They will not pass over to Word through the magic internet cloud, and those changes will not occur there. So within Google Drive, in a Google Doc, you can make changes, and those changes, of course, will only be made in Google Drive. So once we opened it and we looked at it, we also decided that you could look at it. Now, we just also talked about clicking the new and creating a new. Remember that when you create anything new in Google, that it'll always be untitled. So what do I mean by that? Let's go over here. Now I'm going to click on new, and I'm going to click on Google Doc. Okay, so now you can see that I typed a little text in there. If I go up here to where it says Untitled Document and I just click, it automatically takes the first part of the whatever is in the document and makes it the title. Now, of course, you can always edit it. So you can just remove part of it, leave it as it is, whatever you want to do. And if I don't change it here, then when I go to my Google Drive, I'll have a great big huge long list of untitled documents. You can also rename documents within Google Drive. So if I scroll down and I find something, for example, I want to rename this copy. Oh, well, maybe not. It should allow me. There we go. It will allow me to rename from here. So I do have options, and I right-clicked on the title in order to get this menu. So now I would like for you to do an activity. First of all, I want to make sure that you can get to your Google Drive and you can get into your Google Doc, and I want you to title that document Making Sense Out of Chaos. You have 2 minutes to do this activity. let's keep on going. So now you have a new document, and you may have created some homework. So now we want to talk about downloading and sharing. So downloading from Google Docs, you can go to your drive and you can select multiple documents and you can download them. Just keep in mind that when you do that and you download them, they're going to be in a zip file. From the Docker file, you can download directly from there as well. So let's go back here and take a look. So if I click on File, I have the ability to download. Notice that when I hover over download, I have lots of options. So I could download this as a Word doc, a PDF, or other options. You may want to do that, but it's also that helps your students. So if they wanted to download something that you put up, even though they can't edit the document, they could still download it if you leave that option available to them. So now let's talk about sharing. Sharing is something that your students and you will probably do more than anything else. So to share a document, either in Google Sheets or Google Docs, you're going to find the share button at the top right. In Google Docs, it's blue, and in Google Sheets, it happens to be green. So I'm going to click on Share. And you're going to see that I am the only person that can view this document. However, if you notice here, it says Get Link and it says Restricted. Only people can open this link, change link to blah, blah, blah. Okay, so if I click on Change Link, now you see it says anyone at VCCS can, with this link, can view. If I want to open it so that I can have it go anywhere, and anyone that has the link can open it, I would choose that as the last option. Notice that I do have the option to change the ability of whether they can view, comment, or edit. So those are some things that you can do to share. If you choose public, it doesn't require a sign-in. If you choose VCCS, it does require the user to sign into their My VCCS or account, so through their portal. So this is a summary of what I just showed you. So I clicked on the blue, and then I clicked on Share. I changed the settings so that it is public, and then I left the option as Viewer. So Google Sheet, same thing, except the icon is green. So now if I want to collaborate or comment on a Google Doc, so I want to invite somebody to help me out with my Elmer Fudd's homework. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back over here to Share. And now I'm going to leave this as it is, and I'm going to click Done. Now, if I want to add a specific person to help me complete this document, I'm going to add someone, and then they're going to get a notification in their email.vccs.edu, that Gmail page that I showed you. They will get a notification that I have shared a document and I would like to collaborate. And notice over here, I have the option again to change the from editor to either viewer or commenter. But in this case, I'm going to leave it as editor. And I'm going to click Send. So now the person that I shared that with will be able to go in and make changes to the document. You must make sure that you add someone using their @email.vccs.edu account. So in other words, if they are, you can't use their, for example, you couldn't use their @germana.edu account. So if you don't know the email address of the person that you're wanting to find, you want to make sure that you ask them what is their login to get to their portal. For example, I would say, what's your MyGCC login? So they would give me that initials and some numbers is generally what it is. Now let's go back up to share. And let's just say that I wanted to click on editor. So now if I click on editor, I have a few more options. I can give temporary access, I can actually give the document to the person, or I can take away all privileges. I'm going to leave it as it is. And now if I click on the wheel, I do have more share settings. So editors can change permissions in share, or editors and commenters can see the option to download, print, and copy. So if you don't want someone to download, print, or copy the document or sheet that you're sending, you can uncheck that box, and that would only allow them to view it. So let's go back and do a quick review. So I clicked the share icon, then I added someone and I used their email.bccs.edu account. You can choose the appropriate permissions: a viewer, a commenter, temporary access, owner, or remove, and then click done. And these are the advanced sharing options that I told you about. So you can take away the privilege for someone to view, to download, print, or copy. And also you can take away an editor's permission to share. So this is your second activity. So go find the document that you opened and click on the sharing settings, get the shareable link, and then copy and paste it into your doc. Download as a Word document to your computer and open the sharing settings and make your doc public. So pick one of those and you have 2 minutes to complete that activity. Great. Let's move on. Comments, replies, and edits. I'm going to go back to my document and I'm going to highlight. Obviously, this is already highlighted and I'm going to highlight it again. And then over here, if you notice, I have a little plus that showed up. So if I click on that plus, I can now put in a comment. And there we go. So, however, that comment is not assigned to any specific person. So now I'm going to go over here and I'm going to click on edit this comment. And I'm going to add someone to this so that they will get a notification that they have been assigned something. So now this person has received an email that says, PageDrum has left a comment for you to resolve. So now I'm going to go down here and I'm going to type some more. So I'm going to go back over here and I'm going to highlight that again. And this time when I click the comment option, I'm going to click plus, and now I'm going to type in the name of the person I want to do this. And now if you notice, I got a new box. My new box says assign. So I'm going to click assign, and it says the assigned person will be notified and responsible for marking this as done. So I'm going to click assign. So now it has been assigned. There's another way that you can get to commenting. And if you go to the top and you click on comment history, you see there are notifications. So change email notification settings for this document. And I also have the ability to comment. So if I clicked there, then I could put in another comment. The next thing we're going to talk about is editing. So you have to make sure that the editing is turned on. And to do that, you're going to look at to see if this little crooked arrow is available. So here you can see it's kind of an activity dashboard, so you can kind of see what's going on. Now underneath that though, you see that there is an editing mode. If you click on the editing mode, you have three choices. You can edit the document directly, you can suggest comments, or you can view, in other words, or read for final document. So if I were to make suggestions, let's see. If I go up here and I click on that, and I click on suggestion, and I click notice that now you can see that suggestion also came up with a accept the suggestion or reject. So that is a way that someone can do edits on a document, and then you would have the ability to go back and look at the history if you wanted to see the suggestions that were made and whether or not they were suggested or rejected. The final thing, oops, let me go back and do a quick review. Hold on one second. So, comments. You select the text you'd like to comment on. You add a comment. You can comment in the box. You can add a person so it's assigned to them. You can comment to a specific person. You can also check the box, excuse me, and assign the task to someone. Edits. So in the top corner, you need to make sure that you're in suggesting mode or in the by checking the edit box. To suggest an edit, you can type and then notice the box will show up, and the document's owner will receive an email with your suggestions, and then they can either accept them or reject them. So here's your third activity. So you can assign it to me if you'd like, and you can go in and highlight some text and assign it to me by putting plus and my PED2604@email.vccs.edu account, or you can make a comment and assign that comment to me. You have 2 minutes, so ready, set, go. All right. Hopefully you were able to figure out the commenting and editing part of the Google Doc. Sheets are the exact same way. I'm not going to go over everything in Google Sheets because everything is the same. However, I do want to show you that there are some templates that you can find that are already done for you that you don't have to create. So if you're in a rush and you need a template for something, you may be able to find it already done. So I'm back in my Google Drive, and if I click on New, and instead of clicking directly on Google Doc, I actually hover over the arrow. Notice now I get the option of From a Template. So if I click on that, then now I can see the template gallery. And so you have plenty of things to pick from here. They're not, by no means, you could find other templates out on the internet, but those are some options. The same thing goes if I click on New, and this time I click on Sheet, I can also find Google Sheet templates. So Google Docs and Google Sheet templates might save you some time as far as creating. So for example, there's a to-do list and things like that, an expense report. So just know that they are there and fairly easy to find. Actually, they're really easy to find. All right, so now let's go on. So a lot of you want to know, well, why do I want to know this? I want you to know this because using Google Docs and Sheets in Canvas will make your life a lot easier. So I'm going to talk about how to embed specifically in your Google into Canvas using your Google app. So I'm going to go to, I'm going to do this two different ways. So I have to give me 2 seconds. So I'm going to go to any old random course and I'm going to click on Page. And I'm going to click on View All Pages. I'm just going to create a new page and I'm going to click on Page. So from here, this is the rich content editor. So now I'm going to call this Google Drive in Canvas. Okay. So from here, I can see that there are a couple options. So if I click on this little blue V in the middle, my first option is Google Apps, and that's what I'm going to click on. When I click on Google Apps, I'm going to wait. Okay, I'm going to do this again because it's not happy with me. So let's try it one more time. Sometimes the second time it'll work. I know I'm logged in. I know that my Canvas is connected to my Google Drive. And now I'm getting the spinning wheel. Okay, I was just being a little bit impatient. So now I can put in anything I want. So I'm going to find Elmer Fudd's homework, which somewhere in here. Actually, you know what? Let's just do it the easy way. We know what it's called, so I'm going to go into the search bar and I'm going to type Elmer and see what happens. Ah, there it is. So now I can choose to embed this or link it. I'm going to choose embed. Now, if you notice very briefly, there was a little authorized button that popped up. If you need to, you may have to click that button. If you have not, and your students may have to do the same thing so that it realizes that especially if you've chosen the My VCCS login option when you were doing the sharing options. That's the one reason I always choose public. It's not public on the internet. It just means that if they have the link, they don't have to sign in. All right, so here's that Elmer Fudd document now that you can see. And notice that the share option is obviously gone. However, all of the rest of this is available to me because I am the owner of the document. If I were not the owner of the document, then I would not see those, I would not have all of those options at the top. So from here now I could click Save and Publish. And there it is. And that's what it would look like inside of Canvas on a page. So now I'm going to pop over here into modules. And there's another way that you can do this. So I'm going to go back over to Elmer Fudd's homework, and I'm going to click on the share, and I'm going to click on copy link. So now it tells me that the link is copied. Thank you. And I'm going to go back to Canvas. And I already have a module here called Google, so I'm going to just put it there. I'm going to click on the plus. And in the drop down, this time I'm going to choose external URL. And I'm just going to paste that link that I shared, and I'm going to give it a name. And I'm going to click add item. Now what will happen if your students click on the link, it will look a little bit different. So this is another way that you can share your Google Sheets, Docs, and slides with students. So you can take that share URL and put it in as a module, I'll call it item. So I just copied and pasted the link. Now I'm going to talk about adding Google to an assignment. So I'm going to go over here, and I'm going to go back to modules. Do this the easy way. And I'm going to click on plus. And I'm going to click on new assignment. And I'm going to call this, I don't know. And I'm going to click add item. So now I've created an assignment, but obviously I don't have anything here. So I'm going to click on the link. And now I'm going to click on edit. So if I want to add something inside of the assignment, for example, if I want to add some directions or a Google sheet that I want them to copy and then complete, you can do that as well. So I'm going to click on the blue V, and I'm going to click on, I'm going to scroll down, and I'm actually this time going to click on Google Drive. Okay, that, I don't want to use that option. Never mind. Let me go back. Put in the directions. There is a way that you can create something called a Google Cloud assignment, and that was what was showing, and that's not where I wanted to go. So I typed in a little bit of, these are the directions. Give it some points. Scroll down to submission type. In the submission type, I'm now going to click on external tool. And now I'm going to click on find. And I'm going to scroll down until I get to where it says Google Docs Cloud Assignment. Now, I know that you see right underneath that Google Assignment, and that was actually what came up the first time, but that's not what we want to use. So click on Google Docs Cloud Assignment. And from here, you can choose to pick anything that is in your Google Drive. So I'm going to choose this, no, not that one. This document, oh, that's MP4. No, I don't want that either. Oh, we'll pick this one. And click submit. And then once you've done with that, click select. And then you can put in a due date and click save and publish. The reason that I wanted to show you this is because This is a cloud assignment. And notice that if you can't read it, I'll read it to you. It says, students will receive a copy of this document that they can modify for their assignment submissions. So your students will automatically receive a copy if they click on the link right there, so that so that they can have a copy that they don't have to download, or you have to send them a copy, or they have to know how to make a copy. So all they have to do is click there and it automatically makes them a copy. And then they can choose to do whatever they want to do there and then upload that back into Canvas for you to grade in SpeedGrader. So I'm going to go back over here and do a really quick little review. So you can find the document. You can either use the rich content editor, the little blue V, and add it that way, or you can get the share link from the document and add that as an external URL within a module. The next thing we did was we created an assignment. And we did that by adding it as an external tool, and then we chose Google Cloud Assignment. Now, the Cloud Assignment tool, which is what we just talked about, creates a copy for all your students. It creates a folder in your drive. You use SpeedGrader to grade it. And it does allow for multiple submissions. So if students wanted to submit it multiple times, they could do that as well. And it is a great option for journaling. So when I would want to grade that, I would go to SpeedGrader, and if you can see an example here, once one was turned in, and then the second, once changes were made, it was turned in again. So students would have to submit the same file again, so that you would get a notification that you would need to regrade. And remember that only the last grade is the grade that will be posted. So now we're going to see, we're talking about, that was one way to do it. Now we're going to go further, and we're going to talk about embedding inside of Canvas. Excuse me. That was actually, we did embed inside Canvas. I have a tickle. So when students want to submit something to you using their share link, they're going to get the share link and they're going to put it in as a, let me go back before I say that, because if I don't do this the way, if I don't show it to you, then it won't make any sense. So I'm going to go back here and I'm going to click on assignment. And I'm not going to accept, I want to go down here to the, notice where it has external tool. If I don't want that as a choice and I still want them to, in other words, I don't want to use the Google Cloud assignment, I just want to have the students complete a Google Doc and submit it, then I can actually just check the box for website URL, which will give them the option to put that share link in there. But they also, if they have linked their Google Drive, they will have that as an option as well. So what does that look like? It looks like this. So here you could see they could add, they could actually click on their Google Drive in order to submit that assignment. Now, before we go any further, I want to show you in Canvas what the new rich content editor looks like and how you would use that to either add or embed a Google Doc or sheet. So I'm going to pop over here to this course, and I'm going to click on modules. And I'm going to go down here to the bottom, and I'm going to click on the plus. And this time I'm going to just pick a page. And there we go. And now I'm going to edit. Now, if you notice when this opens, you see that the rich content editor now looks a little bit different. This is what they're calling the new rich content editor, and this is what Canvas will be moving to this summer. From here, I'm going to click on the plug to find my Google Drive. So I'm going to click on Google Apps, and when I do that, it will allow me to find whatever is in my Google Drive. Again, evidently there's a lot of people using the internet today. And I know it will load because it did the last time. Okay, maybe not. Oh, there we go. And again, I can find whatever I want, and it's going to look the same as it did using the other rich content editor. Okay, so that is what it looks like with the new rich content editor. You can also add cloud assignments the same way. When you do that, the option in the rich content editor was the one underneath the one I chose, which I will show you in just a second. All right, perfect. So if I go back to modules, and I click on the plus, and I click on assignment. Remember that the cloud assignment gives the students the ability to directly make a copy. So if I click on cloud assignment and I click edit, and now I click on the plug, and I click on Google Drive this time. This is the way that you can make an assignment. So you do have the option to choose to use the assignment tool, or you can choose to use the cloud option. So I'm gonna, yes. So if I want to do that, again, I'm going to choose in submission type, I will choose external tool. And again, it's the option here, Google Cloud Assignment. All right, so to wrap it up, we talked about how to upload or create a Google Doc or sheet, download and share. We talked about commenting, editing, replying. I showed you where the templates were. We talked about using docs and sheets in Canvas. We talked about putting them in as an assignment, and we talked about using the embed option. Students may also use any of those options to share with the sharing options to share their document with you. So if you would be so kind as to take a moment and complete a brief survey about how we did today, that would be great. We appreciate you coming, and we are glad that you are here. And if you have any questions at any time, please reach out to your school's instructional designer. If you need that their contact information. You can find that on the edtech.vccs.edu page. And that's also where you can find all of the recordings and slide decks from the presentations and webinars we've been doing over the past few months. And we hope that you have a great day.
I think it's just us.
Stop recording.
Yep, thanks.